everybody, and welcome to the first morning report. And in this first episode, we are going to discuss what this podcast is about and just what this first episode is going to be about, and the topic, of course. But before we get started, I just want to preface that this is a Lion King channel, so we will only be discussing Lion King news, anything related to Lion King, or Lion Guard, of course, anything within that community, anything that would affect the community, that type of thing. And so how this is gonna go is the first part is going to be news related towards Lion King, Lion Guard, etc. Anything new related there, and I do record these in advance, so if I release this and there's like a new trailer for XYZ, don't worry, it's probably going to be in the next episode, so just hold your horses there. And with all that being said, welcome to the morning report, and let's fire away. And the first topic for today is Mufasa, of course, the whole overarching topic for today's episode. And there has been a trailer that has been out for several weeks now, about a month as of recording this. And I must say that the that the reception has been much better for this trailer than the last one, and it makes sense. This one actually kind of makes me excited. This Mufasa trailer, I mean, I was kind of excited before because I was excited for anything Lion King related as a Lion King fan myself. But this one actually, this one is just very, very much way better than the teaser trailer. However, there's one thing that bothers me. There's one thing that really bothers me, and that's that young Scar, Taka, if you didn't know that, has a very, very, very British accent as he's young. And then, of course, I don't know if this is supposed to be related to the Lion King 2019 movie. I'm assuming it is. I mean, hello, they're both live action. It would just make sense. But why does he have a British accent and then he just grows out of it? I mean, I've heard of that happening with other people, but it just it doesn't really work for this. So I think they should have gone with maybe at least try like have the actor do a different accent, because I mean, I feel like British people are pretty good at doing American accents, right? You have Tom Holland who plays Spider-Man, a very New York American accent. He's a very British guy, you know, he loves his tea, but then he pulls off Spider-Man accent and all that. And I not sure why they couldn't do that. But yeah, that's the main thing that I saw about this trailer, and people just kind of like, oh yeah, like Taka is really Scar, so very, very fun, very, very interesting. We'll keep talking about that. I've got videos in the works for analyzing this trailer because there's a lot of fun details about this. So make sure you subscribe if you're excited about that. The next topic is actually a very sad one. And if you want to know the best way to watch Lion Guard content, I would have told you it was Disney Now. However, unfortunately, that will not be the case at the end of September. That's right. Disney Now, which was a free app that Disney put out a little while ago. Don't remember exactly. And it's just going to be gone. Disney's shutting it down September 23rd, which is a couple weeks as of recording this. Might be just a week as of posting this, so be sure to get your Disney Junior, Disney XD, Disney Channel fill in now, because that's what Disney Now was posting on, and they would have stuff that they would filter through. They didn't have everything. They didn't have like all the episodes of all the seasons, but they would filter through, so you could basically watch stuff if you were just patient enough. And that's what my siblings did for me and my siblings did for a while. Like quite a few years ago, we would be super excited for Friday and how they would filter through the different episodes of The Lion Guard and all the different shows on that. But the best way to watch Lion Guard will be gone. There's going to be no way to watch it free. Of course, there's other ways, but not going to discuss those. This comes from The Desk. The Walt Disney Company will shut down most of its smartphone and smart TV apps that are associated with its broadcast and cable networks in September. So Disney Now, you could also connect your cable network to it if you had that, and pretty much watch everything. So Disney's pretty much making it so that you have to subscribe to Disney Plus and sign your life away, I guess, with it. And that also includes several other apps like FX Now, ABC, and Nat Geo TV, and Freeform. I did not know they owned Freeform, but that will be going away as well. So very, very big bummer there. Also, Disney Now had some, they were okay Lion Guard games. So make sure to play those games. Watch as much Lion Guard as you can. Which brings us to our next topic, which Disney Plus is adding live channels. And one of those is a Disney Junior channel, which specifically is, like, at least on this article, it says it will be a large playlist of episodes with shows like The Lion Guard or Spidey and His Amazing Friends. I'm not sure if it's just those two, but it seems like that's definitely a big focus, which is very hopeful for the series if it's still popular, which is that's just amazing, right? And it's also hopeful for maybe a season 4, which I've discussed about in a different video. Be sure check that out. So hopefully this just shows that Disney's not completely done with the Lion Guard yet, because they've got a live channel that's definitely just mainly featuring the Lion Guard and other Disney Junior shows, because I guess their newest stuff is just not super great. But they've also got other live channels. I'm pretty sure you have to have the premium version. Looks like the new they work a lot like the can't see anywhere on this article where it says specifically they have to have the. I'm pretty sure I did see that though, and I guess I see this as a good thing. However, it is pretty good to have it split up and have it being free, not having to be subscribed to Disney Plus. Of course, signing your life away. Oh, good golly, Disney. Good golly, Disney. And there's going to be just lots of different Disney Junior shows. Looks like this article also features a stream of favorites like The Lion Guard. Once again, it's the first one. Great sign. Minnie's Bow Tunes and Sophia the First. Sophia the First is actually kind of underrated. Maybe it's not underrated. Maybe it's just right rated. Definitely not overrated. It's pretty good show. Watched it way back when with my siblings when it was first coming out. So that's definitely sad day for people who like free stuff, and it just goes to show that Disney right now they're still going with Disney Plus. They just want to keep going with Disney Plus. They don't want to have anybody watching their stuff for free. No. We gotta have people pay for Disney Plus, of course. And yeah, that's really unfortunate that it's leaving. But what can you do? What can you do? All this, we've got other free stuff that's available, just not with Disney. Not with Disney. All right, and for the next topic, I want to talk about the future of the Lion King. I know that's very vague, but I think this definitely plays into Mufasa and how it will affect the future of not just the Lion King, but 2D animation and Walt Disney animation in general. I know that's a lot. That's a lot to lean on for this one live action movie. You're like, well, you kind of want it to fail, right? Well, it's not quite that simple. And you know, the new trailer definitely gives me hope. Like I've said before, it does give me hope that Disney actually does care about the Lion King franchise. When I saw that it was live action, I thought that Disney didn't care. I thought that this was just Disney being like, well, I mean, live action Lion King made lots of money, so let's make another live action Lion King. Because you have to remember that, I mean, the Lion King 2019, I mean, how much did it make? $1.6 billion worldwide. And that makes it the highest grossing quote unquote animated film. Because of course there's only like 2 shots that are of an actual location. Everything else is just computer generated. And maybe you didn't know that. Maybe you didn't know that. But the more you know. And you know what? I mean, I can understand why Disney would maybe make this a live action, because the last one made so much money. But it's just, I can only imagine what could have been. I can only imagine like an animated, going back to their 2D animated roots and making a whole new movie off of this. Man, can you even imagine? I mean, I'm just thinking like Mufasa and it would be animated. Wow. I mean, I feel like that'd do so much better. A new Lion King animated movie, people would go into the theaters just for that. I don't feel like as many people are going to go into the theater because the live action is not a novelty for this. The Lion King but live action, the 2019 version, was a novelty because it's Lion King, but it's live action. And this new one, it's a new story, so it's not like, oh, I want to see how they interpret this in live action. It's a new story, but how nobody's gonna be like, oh, I wonder how they do this story, because it's a new one, and there's not going to be as many people flocking to the theaters because they see that it's just that lifeless live action. Now I feel like it actually had some life to it. It had something to offer, you know. But I'm glad that they're not going back to. I'm so glad they're not just doing Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, but in live action, because they very easily could have done that. But I am cautiously optimistic about Mufasa because it looks pretty good, and I feel like they actually made the faces be a bit more animated. Not in the sense of like, oh, it looks more animated. It still looks live action, obviously, but they actually gave some more character to them. And that also was a big gripe with many fans of the first one, is that it just looked like, you know, lions going around, which was, you know, the intent, obviously, but you gotta have some facial expressions, and I feel like they're actually doing a pretty good job with this one in terms of that, to the point of where it almost looks goofy. I don't know. There's just some of the faces is a little bit like, oh, that's a little bit, that's kind of reaching the uncanny valley there. But needless to say, I think the story could be actually pretty well done. Now, whether or not they stay true to the Lion Guard interpretation of how Scar went crazy, because I'm sure they have to show that. I mean, they just have to, because they show them being best of buds, the absolute best of buds, Mufasa and Taka, and then you know what's gonna happen. You know what happens in the Lion King movie. They have to show that towards the end, Scar going crazy, and I feel like it's gonna be a pretty bleak ending. I'm just calling it. It's gonna be a bleak ending, probably, if they show Scar or Taka turning into Scar, basically Smeagol turning into Gollum. That could be, and it all hinges on them and how they handle that. So, yeah, CGI live action Lion King is coming back. And as we saw in the first part of the trailer for Mufasa, this will be kind of going back in time. Well, this will be going back in time, obviously, for the majority of it, but the first little bit, it will be from the perspective of Rafiki telling a story to what looks to be young Kiara, I would assume, because I don't know, it doesn't look how Simba looked in the Lion King live action 2019 version. Well, there's only one 2019 live action, but whatever. And so, yeah, they're kind of giving us a glimpse of Kiara in live action, but obviously the main story is going to be the flashback. Well, maybe not flashback. I mean, I'm sure Rafiki was there, but it's going to be going back in time. Ooh. And so, I think that's a fine approach. Timon and Pumbaa being there, I feel like they didn't necessarily need to have that. It's probably just so that they can butt in every once in a while, which could be good. It could be a really good thing that they would butt in every once in a while. I don't know. Have that be the comedic relief, kind of like The Lion King 1.5. Just a little bit, have their funny commentary. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you thought Timon and Pumbaa, they were as funny in the live action one, because they actually changed a little bit. I feel like of all the things that they changed from the animated to the live action Lion King, I feel like Timon and Pumbaa changed the most. But that's just kind of my take on it. I don't really know if they were more or less funny. I feel like some of the lines were more funny from the animated version, and then there were some that was like, you're just kind of trying too hard at that point. I guess part of it was their lifeless faces. Anywho, we know that Aaron Pierre and Kelvin Harrison Jr. will be the voices of Mufasa and Taka. I wrote that down, not knowing exactly if those were the young or the older voices, the adult voices. And I've got a whole video planned on like breaking this trailer down, but I do want to just kind of discuss how they seem to be going off on their own. Like, we don't see any Pride Rock. So Mufasa, like, they make it seem like Pride Rock has been in the family for generations, but I don't see it anywhere here in the trailer, meaning that they're probably going to find it down the line. And I feel like that just kind of, this whole situation of like Mufasa is like adopted is not exactly what I expected, because that's not how they kind of played out in in the Lion Guard, when they do the flashback of Mufasa and Scar, and especially in the Lion King movies, because they kind of just make it seem like, yeah, they've just kind of been, these two have just been rivals since the very get-go, you know, just family drama, etc. And yeah, I don't I don't see that coming to fruition here. Of course, I feel like the animated and the live action are two separate things. They're two separate canons. And I'll discuss that another time. Don't have the time here. But I just don't see them correlating as much. I feel like they're going to give Scar a different reason, or a different way he went crazy in Mufasa than how they showed in the Lion Guard, which was with being betrayed by the strange lion. And yeah, I just don't see them falling exactly with what the Lion Guard did. So very interesting stuff. However, I think with Mufasa releasing, I think Mufasa could dictate whether or not we get new Lion King stuff. So essentially, this movie about live action Lion King prequel needs to succeed in order to get new Lion King stuff. This feels like a trial run with Disney. I mean, discussed it earlier that Disney's adding live channel, and all of like the big articles talking about it. The first thing that they talk about is the Lion Guard. And I feel like that's kind of a trial run. Like, how popular is the Lion Guard with the youth now, with Gen Alpha, right? I feel like Gen Z kind of grew up with it, and I guess some of the older Gen Alpha generation. But Mufasa also feels like a trial run. And I can't decide if Disney wants it to, if it succeeds, will they actually put effort into an animated version? I feel like that's what Disney's going to do, because if it just flat out fails, I feel like the entire Lion King franchise is close to dead at that point. Because I feel like Disney would just be like, whatever, that failed, it's okay, we got Toy Story to fall back on. We've got Frozen to fall back on. And Lion King just always felt like it had more to give. And then putting it upon a live action version, the live action ones are always very mixed. You know there's going to be a lot of reviews saying that it's not great because of the visuals, because many viewers, myself included, are just kind of turned off by the non-magical feel of live action. It's just, they're not able to capture the magic like they are with animation. And we saw that with Peter Pan and Wendy. Not a horrible movie, but just very forgettable. Same thing with the Lady and the Tramp live action remake that is only on Disney Plus. It released like 5 years ago and everybody forgot about it. Me and my family couldn't even finish it because of how boring it was. To be fair, the original was a little, it dragged on a little bit, but it made up for in the fun personalities in the characters and the animation as well, and of course the music. And then with the live action, it was just kind of like, what am I'm just watching two stray dogs walk around this like very kind of boring city, not doing much. And it was it just wasn't what I expected. I'm not sure what I expected from it. Not not that. And then I feel like the 2019 one was a bit better, but I don't know. And then with Mufasa, Mufasa needs to have music in it. That's just part of the magic with The Lion King, is that its songs are so catchy. And the live action ones were good remakes, but like, are you able to make new ones that actually are catchy? And even then, is it going to capture the same magic that the original 1994 one had? I don't think so. But Lin-Manuel Miranda is a very talented composer, and I think he can pull it off. I think he can. Because with the fact that they did say that he will be that they'll have incredible music in the Mufasa movie, and Lin-Manuel Miranda said this apparently, quote, Elton John, Tim Rice, Hans Zimmer, Lebo M. Mark, sorry, Beyonce, etc., and then the incredible music team on The Lion Guard, and so many musical contributors over the years. The Lion King has an incredible musical legacy with music from some of the greatest songwriters around, and I'm humbled and proud to be a part of it. It's been a joy working alongside Barry Jenkins to bring Mufasa's story to life, and we can't wait for audiences to experience this film in theaters. End of quote. So, I guess that kind of confirms it. Mufasa will have music. That's pretty exciting. That's very exciting. If they're good. If they're just kind of forgettable, then yeah, I don't know. I feel like they really just gotta put it all on the line. And I haven't seen anything from the director, Barry Jenkins. You gotta let me know in the comments if you have and if you liked it. But the fact that they're highlighting that so much is a good sign. Is a good sign that he's a good director, and I'm sure he is. I mean, I thought Jon Favreau was a good director, but I mean, he just did everything shot for shot from the original, but live action. But we shall see when Mufasa releases, and Disney will also be watching, and who knows, if it flops, then maybe Disney will go back to... I feel like Disney wouldn't completely abandon The Lion King. Maybe they would go back to 2D animation. Either way, I will be there, and I will definitely be doing a review. Maybe a whole podcast on it. My first thoughts. That's actually the plan. Right after releases, I'll be doing my first thoughts, because it comes out like a couple days before Christmas, guys. I mean, I gotta take breaks for Christmas. So right after releases, I'll be doing like my first thoughts, like unfiltered, unedited thoughts on Mufasa. And then after a while, after Christmas, not after a while, but after Christmas, gotta give me some time to work on a review, and then I'll have a review out of Mufasa. Very exciting for The Lion King, and also you can now watch Lion Guard on Disney Plus. What do you know? That could be a good sign. That could be a good sign, right? Maybe that they're not actually completely abandoning The Lion Guard. Maybe they'll have a new series, a new animated series for The Lion King. Who knows? I feel like a lot of studios are kind of sleeping on animation, but yeah, I don't know. And I'll be there for Mufasa, and just I'm cautiously optimistic, as I keep saying. I'm cautiously optimistic about what Mufasa has to offer. And I hope you are too. And I hope you are cautiously optimistic about this channel and just the Lion King community in general, which has been growing this year. And I'm very excited about that. I hope you will join me on this journey and subscribe and like the video. But Hakuna Matata, no worries. If you don't want to do that now, if you want to do it later, it's completely free. You can always unsubscribe later if you find out that you're not as into the Lion King as you thought you were, whatever. And thank you all for listening and watching, and I will see you all in the next episode of the Morning Report. Thank you for listening, and I will see you later. Goodbye.